There is a shift in the atmosphere right now that you may not have the words to describe, but your spirit can undoubtedly feel. It is a subtle lightness, a sudden clarity in the air, a release of pressure in the center of your chest that has been there for weeks, perhaps even months. You might be wondering why, on this specific day, February 5th, the heavy fog that has surrounded your mind seems to be lifting. You might be looking for an external reason, a piece of good news in your email, a change in your finances, or a shift in your relationships. But if you look outside, you might not see the cause yet. That is because the cause is not out there. The cause is you. A profound shift has just occurred in the heavens, and you are the origin point. A few hours ago, or perhaps late last night, you made a choice in complete privacy. It was a fleeting decision, lasting no more than 5 seconds. It was so quiet, so internal, that no one around you noticed. You almost didn't do it. In fact, every instinct in your body, every wired neural pathway in your brain, and every emotional trigger from your past screamed at you to react. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. You wanted to defend yourself. You wanted to speak the harsh truth. You wanted to send that text message, make that call, or let your anger spiral into a familiar depression. But you didn't. You held back. You chose stillness over reaction. You chose silence over the urge to prove you were right. In that invisible, microscopic moment, a spiritual assignment that has tracked you for years, a cycle of repetition that has stolen your joy and delayed your blessings, was cancelled. The evidence is in your body right now. Take a deep breath. Do you feel that? It is a deeper breath than you have been able to take in a long time. This is physical proof of a spiritual transaction. Heaven responded to your choice not with loud fanfare, not with thunder, but with a knowing approval, because your action wasn't for an audience. You didn't do it to look holy. You didn't do it to get praise. It was an act of secret obedience. What you do not know, and what I am here to reveal to you today, is that your choice perfectly interrupted a negative timeline the enemy had planned for you. This act of faithfulness, forgiving silently, staying quiet when baited, or simply continuing to walk when you desperately wanted to quit, was met with intense spiritual resistance because it held immense power. God didn't just notice, He smiled. And that smile was not just of approval, it was of joy, the pure delight of a father seeing his child finally understand the lesson. This private victory was documented in the records of your hidden faithfulness. For too long, a lying voice has whispered that your small steps don't count, that your restraint doesn't matter, that you are not making progress. That lie is broken today. You have been growing all along, and this moment was the proof. This single choice has activated dormant blessings and changed your spiritual coordinates, setting a new course for your future. Before we go any deeper into what this coordinate shift means for your life in the coming days, I need you to understand the magnitude of what you just survived. We often think of spiritual warfare as these grand cinematic battles, but the true war is fought in the milliseconds between a stimulus and your response. Think back to the situation that triggered you recently. Maybe it was a disrespectful comment from a family member. Maybe it was a sudden, unexpected bill. Maybe it was a wave of loneliness that usually sends you into a spiral of bad habits. In the past, that trigger was like a command code. Your brain would receive the signal and you would execute the program. Get angry, get anxious, shut down, run away. This is what psychologists call a conditioned response, but spiritually it is a generational cycle. It is a loop that your ancestors likely walked in, a path worn smooth by years of repetition. But this time, something was different. The trigger came. The heat rose in your body, the urge to react surged, but then there was a gap, a pause, a holy hesitation. In that gap, you made a conscious decision to disobey the pattern. You chose the high road, you chose peace. Do you realize how much energy that takes? Science tells us that the brain uses a tremendous amount of glucose to inhibit an impulse. It is physically exhausting to change. That is why you might feel tired right now, a deep soul weariness. But this is a good tired. It is the tiredness of a warrior who has just held the line. By not reacting, you starved the old timeline. Every time you engage with the enemy's bait, you give that negative timeline energy. You feed the argument, you feed the chaos, but by starving it of your attention, you cause that timeline to collapse. The enemy had a script written for you this week. It involved an argument that would lead to a bridge being burned, or a moment of weakness that would lead to a relapse, or a spiral of anxiety that would cost you a great opportunity. But because you didn't read your lines, the scene could not be filmed. You broke the production. You shifted the narrative. I want you to verify this in your own spirit right now. If you know exactly the moment I am talking about, that moment where you almost lost it but didn't, I want you to type "I broke the cycle" in the comments below. Let this be your public declaration that you are no longer a slave to your impulses. This is important because when you write it down, you solidify the victory in your mind. You are telling your brain, "This was real. I did this." And as you do that, please take a second to like this video. It's not just for the algorithm, it's a signal that you are aligning with this message, that you are part of this community of cycle breakers who are waking up all over the world. Now let's talk about God's reaction. The title of this message is "God Smiled in Joy." This is a very specific theological and relational concept. We often view God as a judge waiting for us to mess up, or a distant observer. But scripture and spiritual experience show us a God who takes pleasure in his people. Think of a parent teaching a child to walk. For months, the child crawls, then they stumble. The parent encourages them, but the child keeps falling. But then there is that one moment, that split second where the child finds their balance, takes a step and wobbles, but doesn't fall. What does the parent do? Do they critique the wobble? No. They smile. They cheer. They are filled with an overwhelming sense of pride and joy because they know what that step means. That step means the child is growing. That step means the child is becoming who they were meant to be. God looked at you in your moment of decision. He saw the temptation. He saw how valid your anger was. He saw that you had every right, by human standards, to retaliate. He saw the trauma from your past that makes trust so difficult for you. He saw it all. And then he saw you choose him. He saw you choose his way of peace over your way of pain. And he smiled. That smile is a release of favor. When the king smiles upon you, the atmosphere of the court changes. The angels who are assigned to your life take note. The test has been passed, they say. The level has been cleared. This is why you feel that lightness. The tension of the test has lifted. You are now walking in the afterglow of God's pleasure. But here is the secret that most people miss. And this is where we get into the deep mechanics of the spirit. The enemy knew this breakthrough was coming. That is why the attack was so personalized and so perfectly timed. Have you noticed that the temptation to react came right when you were starting to feel good? Right when you had a moment of hope, suddenly the chaos arrived. That is not a coincidence. In psychology, there is a term called an extinction burst. DC, when you stop reinforcing a behavior, it often gets worse, right before it disappears forever. It spikes, it screams, it tries one last time to hook you. The spiritual equivalent is the enemy throwing his strongest dart because he knows his time is short. He knew that if you passed this specific test, you would unlock a new level of authority. The enemy is not afraid of your potential. He is afraid of your discipline. He doesn't mind if you have a great destiny, as long as you never have the character to walk in it. He has kept you circling the same mountain for years, not by overpowering you, but by baiting you into the same emotional reactions. But today, you cut the bait. You refused to bite, and because of that, the hook came up empty. This is why the timing is perfect. You might feel like you are late in life. You might look at others who seem further ahead and think, I missed my window. But God is saying to you today, your timing is not late, it is perfected. The delay you experienced was necessary training. You needed to develop the spiritual muscle to hold your tongue, to guard your heart, and to stand still. If you had received the blessing you are asking for 3 years ago, you would have destroyed it with your reaction patterns. If you had been given that relationship, that money, or that platform before you learned this lesson of silence and self-control, the enemy would have used your own triggers to dismantle it. But now you are ready. The container of your character has been reinforced. You can hold the weight of the glory that is coming. God delayed the blessing to protect the blessing. And now that you have shown you can handle the silence, you are ready to handle the applause. But be careful, the applause of the world is a test too. Just as you chose silence in the face of conflict, you must choose humility in the face of promotion. I want to speak to the physical symptoms you might be experiencing because your body is catching up to your spirit. When you shift timelines, when you break a massive pattern, your body goes through a detox. You might have felt an unusual need for sleep recently, or conversely, a surge of energy at odd hours. You might have had vivid dreams, dreams of old houses, old schools, or people from your past. This is your subconscious mind processing the closure of those chapters. You are literally rewriting your neural networks. The neurons that used to fire together to create anxiety are breaking apart, and new pathways of peace are being formed. This requires hydration. It requires rest. Be gentle with yourself over the next 48 hours. Do not force yourself to do too much. You have just performed a massive spiritual surgery on yourself. Let the wounds heal. Let the new skin form. There is a specific revelation about the timeline shift that I need to share with you, and this might be the most important part of this message. When we talk about timelines, we are talking about trajectories. Imagine a ship setting sail. If you adjust the rudder by just 1 degree, in the short term, it looks like nothing has changed. You are still in the same harbor. But over the course of 1,000 miles, that 1 degree shift lands you on a completely different continent. Your choice to stay silent, your choice to pray instead of worry, was that 1 degree shift. You cannot see the destination yet. To your eyes, your life looks the same as it did yesterday. The bills are still there. The job is the same. The house is the same. But the trajectory has completely changed. You are no longer heading toward the island of burnout. You are no longer heading toward the continent of regret. You are now charting a course toward the land of promise. God sees the end from the beginning. He sees where this new trajectory leads. He sees the people you will meet because you didn't burn that bridge. He sees the opportunities that will find you because you kept your spirit sweet. He sees the health you will enjoy because you didn't flood your body with cortisol and stress hormones. This is why he smiled. He is looking at your future self, and he is delighted with who you are becoming. You need to understand that this victory was not just for you. There is a lineage aspect to this. Many of you are the chosen ones in your families, the black sheep, the cycle breakers, the truth tellers. You are the ones who felt the dysfunction of your family line most acutely. You carried the burden of your ancestors' unhealed trauma. When you broke that pattern today, when you chose not to react as your father did or as your mother did, you did it for them too. You cleared a pathway in the spirit for your children and your children's children. You said, the trauma stops with me. The anger stops with me. The poverty mindset stops with me. This is heavy work. It is lonely work. Nobody throws a party for you when you break a generational curse in the privacy of your kitchen. Nobody gives you an award when you cry silently in your car instead of screaming at your spouse. But heaven records it. The cloud of witnesses mentioned in the Bible, your ancestors who have passed on, are cheering for you. You are doing what they could not do. You are finishing the work they started. So what happens next? What can you expect in the coming days of February? First, expect a sudden acceleration. When you remove the drag of resistance, you move faster. The energy you used to spend on fighting battles that didn't matter is now available for creation. You will find that your words carry more weight. When you speak, people will listen. This is the authority that comes from self-control. Expect coincidences that are actually divine orchestrations. You might run into someone you haven't seen in years who has exactly what you need. You might stumble upon a book, a video, or a podcast that answers a question you've been asking God for months. These are the breadcrumbs of your new timeline. Follow them. However, I must also warn you. The enemy will try to test this new boundary. He wants to see if your decision was a one-time fluke or a permanent change. He may send a resentment test in the next few days. Someone might bring up the past. Someone might try to minimize your achievement. Do not take the bait. You have already graduated from that level. Look at it with detachment. Observe it, but do not absorb it. Say to yourself, that is the old me. I don't live there anymore. Protect your peace ferociously. Your peace is expensive. Do not sell it cheaply. There is a beautiful promise in the scriptures that says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Since God smiled at you with joy, you now have access to a new reservoir of strength. This isn't the gritty, white-knuckled strength you are used to, where you force yourself to survive. This is a buoyant strength. It is the strength of a sailboat catching the wind. You don't have to row so hard anymore. The wind of God's favor is at your back. You just need to keep your sails up, keep your heart open, keep your mind focused on the things that are pure, lovely, and of good report. As we move deeper into February, pay attention to the number 5. February is the 2nd month, and today is the 5th day. In biblical numerology, 5 is the number of grace. Grace is unmerited favor. It is God doing for you what you could not do for yourself. But 2 is the number of witness and partnership. This combination tells us that as you partner with God, the 2, He releases His grace, the 5. Your partnership was your choice. His grace is the outcome. You did your part. Now watch Him do His. You might see the number 55 or 555 appearing on clocks, license plates, or receipts. Let these be little winks from God, reminders of His smile, reminders that you are on track. I want to challenge you to do something practical today to seal this shift. Find 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, to sit in complete silence again. Not to meditate on a problem, not to pray for a list of needs, but just to sit in the awareness of God's smile. Close your eyes and visualize a warm golden light surrounding you. Imagine the face of the divine looking at you with absolute love and pride. Let that feeling soak into your cells. Let it rewrite the belief that you are a disappointment. You are not a disappointment. You are a masterpiece in progress. You are a chosen one who is finally stepping into their power. If you have felt like you were walking through a wilderness, feeling unseen and unheard, let this message be your water. You are seen, you are heard, and more importantly, you are known. The God of the universe knows your heart. He knows how hard you have tried. He knows the tears you have swallowed. And he is saying, well done. Not well done because you are perfect. Well done because you persevered. Well done because you chose love when hate was easier. Well done because you kept going. The timing is perfected. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to receive what is coming next. The delay was simply the gathering of the arrow on the bowstring. The further back it is pulled, the tension is greater, yes, but the distance it will fly is farther. You have been pulled back, you have felt the tension, but now the fingers of the archer are releasing. You are about to fly. You are about to hit the mark that you were created for before the foundations of the world. As you go about the rest of your day, carry this secret knowledge with you. Walk a little taller, speak a little softer, smile a little more. You have a secret. You know that you have shifted your reality. You know that the heavy lifting is done. You know that God is smiling, and when God smiles, the whole world eventually has to align with that joy. I want you to stay connected to this truth. The world will try to pull you back into the noise, but you must remain in the signal. If this message resonated with your spirit, if you felt that release in your chest I spoke about at the beginning, then you know this was for you. You were meant to find this video today. It was not an algorithm, it was an assignment. Please, before you go, share this video with someone who you know is fighting a silent battle, someone who needs to know that their efforts are seen. You might be the messenger that confirms their victory. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. We are building a community of people who are awake, who are aware, and who are ready to take their place in the new earth. We need you here. Your energy matters here. Let's seal this with a final affirmation. Say this out loud or whisper it to yourself. I accept the joy of the Lord. I release the past. I walk in my new timeline. My timing is perfect. Believe it. Receive it. It is done. The shift has happened. The smile is upon you. Now, go and live in the light of that favor. You are chosen, you are loved, and you are right on time. Now that the seal is set, we must discuss the phenomenon of the echo. This is critical because what happens in the next 72 hours determines whether this shift becomes your permanent reality or just a fleeting moment of emotional relief. You see, when you declare, "It is done," the universe agrees, and God smiles. But your biology often lags behind your spirit. There is a scientific reason for this, and understanding it will save you from spiraling back down when the initial high wears off. It is called homeostasis. Your body, your nervous system, and your subconscious mind are like a thermostat set to a specific temperature of struggle, worry, and waiting. You have lived in survival mode for so long that peace feels dangerous to your nervous system. So here is what is going to happen, and I am telling you this so you are not caught off guard. In the coming days, your old reality is going to scream the loudest just before it dies. You might wake up tomorrow with a sudden, unexplained heaviness. You might receive a text message from a toxic person from your past. A bill might show up unexpectedly. This is not a sign that you have failed. This is not a sign that God has changed his mind. This is the echo. It is the residual vibration of the old frequency leaving your body. Think of a fan. When you unplug a fan, the blades continue to spin for a while. They are not spinning because they are powered. They are spinning because of momentum. The enemy, or if you prefer, the resistance, wants you to look at the spinning blades and believe the power is still on. It is not. The power has been cut. Do not be deceived by the momentum of the past. This is where most people fail. They feel the echo, they see the old symptoms, and they say, "See, nothing changed. I am still stuck." And the moment they agree with that thought, they plug the fan back in. Do not plug the fan back in. When the anxiety knocks on your door tomorrow, treat it like a solicitor selling a product you no longer need. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to fight it. You simply say, "No, thank you. I don't live here anymore." Let's go deeper into the physics of this transition. You are moving from a timeline of asking to a timeline of having. In the Bible, there is a profound principle often overlooked in the story of the walls of Jericho. They marched for 6 days in silence. Can you imagine the tension, the doubt? Walking in circles, looking at massive stone walls that represented their impossibility, and being told to say nothing. Why silence? Because if they had been allowed to speak, they would have complained, they would have voiced their fears, they would have reinforced the reality of the walls. Silence was the container for their faith. On the 7th day they shouted, and the walls fell. You have done your marching, you have done your praying, you are in the shouting phase. But the shout isn't just noise, it is a vibration of certainty. However, there is a subtle trap that appears right at this stage. I call it the addiction to the wilderness. We often romanticize the destination, the promised land, the financial freedom, the healed relationship, but we are subconsciously addicted to the adrenaline of the struggle. Who are you if you aren't the one fighting a battle? Who are you if you aren't the victim of that story? For years, your identity has been wrapped around your problems. I am the one who is struggling with debt. I am the one who is lonely. If I take the debt and the loneliness away today, you are left with a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you do not consciously fill that space with a new identity, the old problems will rush back in simply to give you a sense of self. So I have a question for you, and I want you to answer it honestly in the privacy of your own heart. Are you ready to be boring? Are you ready for the drama to end? Peace is quiet. Favor is smooth. When you are truly in alignment with God's smile, things stop being so hard. That lack of hardness can feel suspicious to a trauma survivor. You might find yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop. You might find yourself picking a fight with a spouse or sabotaging a project just to feel the familiar rush of cortisol. This is the upper limit problem. You hit a ceiling of how much good you allow yourself to feel before you unconsciously bring yourself back down to your normal level of misery. We are breaking that thermostat today. We are raising the setting. You need to acclimate to joy. You need to build a tolerance for things going right. Here is a practical challenge for the next week. I want you to catch the good. Your brain has a filter called the reticular activating system, RAS. It filters out millions of bits of data to show you what you believe is important. If you believe the world is hostile, your RAS will show you every frown, every rude driver, and every unpaid bill. If you believe God is smiling at you, your RAS must be retrained to find the evidence. Start looking for the micro miracles, the green light when you were in a rush, the stranger who held the door, the unexpected refund, the song that came on the radio just when you needed to hear it. These are not coincidences. These are breadcrumbs leading you to the banquet. Every time you acknowledge one, you release dopamine. You are literally rewiring your brain to expect favor. And the more you expect it, the more you see. The more you see, the more you attract. It is a divine loop. But I must warn you about the people puzzle. As you shift, your relationships will shift. This is often the most painful part of the process and why many chosen ones self-sabotage. You want to bring everyone with you. You want your family, your old friends, your co-workers to understand this new light you are walking in. But you must remember, you cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. If you try, the skins will burst and the wine will be lost. Some people in your life are committed to their suffering. They bond over complaints. They connect through trauma. When you stop complaining, when you stop engaging in the gossip of how hard life is, you will become a mirror to them. Your light will irritate their demons. They might say you've changed. They might say you are acting holier than thou. They might try to pull you back into the old dynamic. Do not judge them. Love them, but love them from a distance if necessary. You are not abandoning them. You are leading the way. You cannot save a drowning man if you are drowning with him. You must get into the lifeboat first. Secure your footing. Let God deal with their hearts. Your assignment is your own alignment. This brings us to the concept of the void. Between the Amen and the manifestation, there is often a period of stillness that looks like nothing is happening. It's like planting a seed. You bury it in the dark. For days or weeks, the surface of the soil looks exactly the same. If you were impatient, you might dig it up to see if it's growing, thereby killing it. You are in the period of the buried seed. The darkness you feel isn't the darkness of the tomb, it is the darkness of the womb. Gestation is happening. In this void, you must become the master of your internal dialogue. The Bible says, call those things attention. You need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuzazara readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.